1954 to 59, when Dr. King was pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery. Much of that period, he was also a leader of the Montgomery bus boycott. He spoke in terms of a new South, a racially inclusive South versus the old South, which was what? Racially separatist, characterized by secessionism and the Civil War and Confederate tradition. Dr. King wanted to get rid of that whole old South tradition and to bring into being what he called a new South, which would be a racially integrated South, a South, as he put it, that would experience a social, political, and economic boom. That's what he had in mind when he spoke in terms of the New South. He was speaking on a regional level, and this is how his beloved community vision found expression on the regional level. Now, when you get to the national level, you have to speak in terms of the American dream. From 1960 up to about 1964, the American dream metaphor figures prominently in Dr. King's rhetoric, in his speeches, in his interviews. Remember, I said in 1954 to 1959, it's the New South idea. But from 1960 to 1964, he's talking about the American dream, and he's arguing that America is essentially a dream unfulfilled. And our struggle is designed to bring about the fulfillment or the full realization of the American dream. That is the right to access to public facilities, the right to vote, to hold public office. It means economic empowerment. It means the right to the pursuit of happiness. This is what Dr. King was talking about in that period from 1960 to 1964. If you listen to his speech at Lincoln University in June 1961, it's entitled The American Dream, and he's talking about the importance of black people becoming a part of representative democracy, becoming a part of participatory democracy, and having the full rights and privileges of all other Americans. So he elevates that concept of the New South, which is so prominent from 1954 to 1959, to the concept of the American dream, which is very prominent from 1960 up to 1964.
But now also, Dr. Baldwin, there was another idea of the American dream before Dr. King became involved in it, before the information that you're giving us now. And so look at that old idea in terms of the American dream, and tell us how that old idea differ from Dr. King's American dream.
Exactly. Now, Dr. King's idea of the American dream, we must remember, was rooted in his reading of the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Emancipation Proclamation, America's sacred documents. And he always said that I'm not the first proponent of this idea of the American dream. It goes back to the founding fathers and others. But we have to understand that we have to take that vision further than they did. When they spoke of all men being created equal, endowed by